Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta, from movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad. This is the land where dreams come true, Tyler Perry Studios. Right now, ahead of the big grand opening that's happening this weekend, you can see crews getting ready, laying down the carpet for the star-studded event. And when I say star-studded, I truly mean it. I'm talking about Denzel Washington, Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, just to name a few. Did I mention Halle Berry's gonna be here in town too? They're all coming to celebrate everything that Mr. Perry has done for not only Atlanta, but the nation. Thank you so much, Mr. Perry! To be here right now and just to feeling all this energy, are you emotional? Do you have anxiety? What are the emotions?
Oprah.
Oprah, oh no, you do this. Oh no, Mr. Perry, you gotta grab your friend. Miss Winfrey, how proud are you of this man? He watched you growing up, and you said write something down, and he wrote his vision down because
This is my little baby brother. Frank Sinatra's song, My Way, I Did It My Way, should be his theme song forever because he did it his way.
Take me to the moment that you said, I'm about to do something different in this industry, create my own rules, and create a studio.
You know what? I didn't set out with that in mind as much as I set out with, I just want to do this my way.
Major stars, including Oprah, Samuel L. Jackson, and Beyonce, came out to celebrate Tyler Perry's achievement.
I am like a proud big sister tonight because he did it his way. He didn't wait for Hollywood. He didn't wait for anybody to tell him how to do it. He did it his way.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for a Monday's edition of The A Scene, and we are kicking off with my one-on-one interview with Hate Bill George's very own hilarious man, Jeff Foxworthy. Of course, we talk his new show, Bring the Funny. When you guys are like watching everybody on the stage, is there ever a time where you're like, this person's really funny? You know what? They're funnier than me. I'm going to take that joke.
No, you can't do that. You can't steal somebody's joke. Oh, that's bad, bad, bad. But I will sit there and go, oh, I wish I'd have thought of that premise. I wish I'd have thought of that.
Where you're giving young comedians, I mean, young and old, the opportunity to walk into their blessing, right?
It's fun for me, because for me, I see myself 30 years ago.
Okay, so this is the story that I think Sheba's been waiting for. Here we go. Popeyes is taking its chicken sandwich. She's like this over there, like, I'm so excited. So Popeyes is taking its chicken sandwich fandom to a whole new level, Sheba. It's the ugly Popeyes chicken sandwich sweater. Everyone is jumping on the plant-based bandwagon, right? I'm in the back seat. Your friend's probably riding, you know, driving the car in the passenger seat, what have you. But Burger King has a confession, and this one really angered me. Their new Impossible Burger is not 100% vegan. Now, according to the fine print, you got to look at the fine print, Sheba. On the Impossible Whopper's website, the meatless patty is still grilled in the same place as beef burgers. I got some more fake food news for you this morning. Many restaurants are serving up fake guacamole. Yeah, this is really happening, and now Napoleon has quit his job because he's walking away. He's done. It's happening in many restaurants in response to the rising costs of, you guessed it, avocados. So here's how it's being done. Instead of avocados, they use a Mexican squash that has a similar texture and taste. I kid you not. Now Crash is turned around and his mouth is open. That is your Rush Block, your top news, weather, and traffic in 5 minutes or less. Claims of discrimination aimed at a Walmart in California. A black woman says she had to wait for an employee to unlock beauty products for her and other black female shoppers. This is sparking a lot of conversation online. And Liza Lucas, you're at the bridge taking a look at many reactions to this. This woman saying she was infuriated. She felt singled out. I know exactly where this woman is coming from. I have been to the beauty supply stores where they follow you around, where they're looking at you for these $3 hair mousses or what have you. You know, the fact that she has to stand next to her white counterpart who is buying Aussie or Dove, and she can readily look at the ingredients and look at the price of her products, yet you're looking at Cantu or you're looking at shea butter, what have you, and you have to go to an employee and ask for them to unlock the pantry. That's an insult. And now to an update on a deadly officer-involved shooting. It's a story we brought you as breaking news yesterday on Morning Rush. Clayton County Police telling us they were forced to shoot and kill 68-year-old Jimmy Phillips. This happened Sunday night at a home on Katy Lane in Morrow. Police say Phillips wouldn't let a woman and 2 teenagers leave the house. They say Phillips pointed a weapon at the officers. That's when officers fired. Here are 3 things you need to know before you head out the door this morning. Coming in at number 1, a police officer shoots a student. It happened yesterday outside a high school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And investigators say an armed 17-year-old student inside the high school refused to hand over his gun. At number 3, a deadly winter storm. It's responsible for killing at least 8 people and hitting more than 30 states during a week-long trek from Oregon to Maine. Tonight was a monumental night, not only just for Tyler Perry, but everyone here in Atlanta. Your name is now on a soundstage at Tyler Perry Studios. What does that feel like?
It's crazy. It means so much because there's opportunities that are now open for so many beautiful young girls like yourself.
This is a historic night in cinema.
What's one lesson that you've learned from Mr. Perry?
I can do anything.
What's the biggest lesson that you've learned from Mr. Perry? The biggest lesson that you incorporate in your own life?
Persistency and prayer.
He has done things that nobody dreamed was possible.
I'm excited to see everybody, but mostly I'm excited for the food.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Wednesday's edition of the A Scene, and we are kicking off with a red carpet look at the new movie called Richard Jewell. That's the new movie directed by Clint Eastwood about the 1996 Atlanta bombings. Now, I spoke to Eastwood and questioned him about the controversial portrayal of AJC reporter Kathy Scruggs. There is a little backlash about Olivia Wilde's character. What do you have to say to those critics who say not enough research was done for Kathy Scruggs' character?
Well, there's only so much research you could do. You can't live inside the people because they no longer exist. You know, we know as much as anybody knows. Kathy Scruggs was a very interesting personality, and she seemed to, and she did find the answer to it. So how she did it, nobody probably will ever really know.
Olivia Wilde says she spoke with multiple people, authors of the book around the 1996 bombings. She also said she spoke with screenwriters, but the family, the only lasting member of Kathy Scruggs, which is her brother, Louis Scruggs Jr., says, hey, I never even got a phone call to consult with you about playing my sister. And a lot of people with the AJC, they say the same thing. We were never even consulted about this film. So now it's going to be this back and forth, and it's going to be interesting to see what changes are done before this film comes out on Friday. Welcome back to Morning Rush, folks. It's that time in the morning. It is time for Click Fix, which is why Liza Lucas and I are here at the bridge.
Yeah, we got a few animal ones to kick off your Thursday, starting with this video that's been popping in our feeds this morning. This was actually outside of a Colorado dispensary, a marijuana dispensary, no less. And yep, I hear Sheba cracking up in the background. We've been loving this video behind the scenes. He is taking that dumpster with him.
He's just getting the bare necessities. You know what he's doing. All right, another big talker and keeping that animal theme going. This one right here, exciting news from Zoo Atlanta. They're welcoming their 3rd African elephant. His name is Misholo. And guess what? Yes, he is 30 years old. He is single. He's 11,000 pounds. And he's going to be meeting 2 other African elephants named Tara and Kelly. So we'll see what happens. And we are kicking off with Actors in Action. Yes, I have a sneak peek for you of the new movie out today. It's called Waves. And guess what? I spoke with the stars of the movie. Sterling, you, gotta be honest with you, hated your character in the beginning. I said, you know, I liked you, and then I said, I'm starting to resent him. Then I said, I'm starting to feel what Tyler's feeling. How did you balance that yin and yang?
I think the gaze was always love.
The announcement is about to happen on your screen. Guess what? For the 2nd time ever, the official The A Scene Awards is making a return. Right here on Atlanta and Company. Woo! Yes! This is an award show that's full of fun, and this is celebrating all of the entertainment that goes down here in Georgia. We're talking TV, film, productions, restaurants that are owned by celebrities. Yes, we are so excited to be doing this 2 years in a row now, which goes to show you just what an entertainment juggernaut Georgia has become. Here to present our next award is our friend and America's Got Talent star, Miss Angelica Hale.
The nominees for the Best Binge-Worthy TV Show are...
Stranger Things.
I need you to trust me.
Greenleaf.
Go back to this bill and make something happen for your brother and sister.
The Walking Dead.
You told me that soon you'd be the one following me.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Thursday's edition of the A-Scene, and we are kicking off with an A-Scene exclusive with basketball icon Shaquille O'Neal. I actually got a chance to sit down with the star as he was gearing up for a giant gesture for the community here in Atlanta. There's nothing that Shaq can't do, but is there one thing in 2020 that you're putting on your vision board?
I'm going to make people smile more. I'm going to take care of people I don't know. Just make their day. For example,
Yeah, and guess what? He's getting started on that resolution ahead of schedule. Shaq says he was watching 11 Alive when he saw that 12-year-old Isaiah Payton was shot after a high school football game and became paralyzed from the chest down. Isaiah is currently in the hospital, but when Shaq learned Isaiah couldn't be released because his home was not equipped for him, Shaq stepped in big time.
just because it's sad, because her son, I think he's paralyzed from the chest down, and no mother has to go through that.
What was it about that story that, because we have so many awful stories that do happen on the news, what was it about this specific story that touched you?
I was watching the story and it's just sad. Could have been any one of us, could have been my son, could have been, I don't know if you have babies, but it could have been your cousin and nephew, but the fact that she's not, and then she was living, I think, in a one-bedroom apartment with her 2 boys, so we found her house in College Park in a nice area. I'm gonna get her some Ring cameras on me. I'm gonna get her some furniture. I'm gonna get her some TVs, and I'm gonna pay her rent off for the year.
Wow.
And help her get back on her feet.
This one's kind of for Napoleon behind the camera right now, but a lot of people saying holy guacamole when it comes to this one, this Hawaiian family getting a place in the Guinness Book of World Records for their avocado, more than 5 pounds. I believe it was 5.6 pounds when the normal avocado is about 6 ounces.
No way. Sorry guys, I was just wiping Napoleon's drool off of his mouth because all of a sudden he started salivating when we showed that guacamole, that avocado. So
Think of all the guacamole you could make from that, indeed.
Let us know what you continue to talk about. Use that hashtag MorningRushATL. Napoleon, stop drooling. Shiva, over to you.
Now I'm craving some avocado too.
What did the study say about washcloth or no washcloth?
Oh, it did not mention that at all. I think that's up to you.
Because that's a big debate over here.
Listen.
It is? Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day.
Washcloth? No washcloth.
Washcloth?
Oh, no.
Washcloth. I think it's just different.
All hands, huh? All hands on deck?
I think it's just.
I got things to do.
So make sure those hands move to the feet, okay?
Wow.
Ooh. Good job.
Yeah.
No washcloth.
No washcloth.
Okay.
All right.
What I want to talk about is the amazing girls, the amazing women who were there last night.
Positives.
I don't want that to outweigh, that story to outweigh who was there last night. I mean, we have just several women I want to name. Miss USA, a lawyer. You also had Miss Ireland, who was there, who's an executive for NASA. She plans to go to outer space one day. And then you also had Miss South Africa, a PR executive who is now fighting against gender-based violence in her country. So the brains there last night, you all would have been impressed. The brains on that carpet, the brains on that stage. One of the most diverse pageants I've ever been to. A-Scene, and guess what? We are starting off with an Atlanta-based recap of the Video Music Awards, baby, and boy was it lit. For the first time ever, Lil Nas X won a Moon Man for his song Old Town Road, winning Song of the Year, and he brought down the house with his new hit, Panini.
Panini, don't you be a meanie, thought you wanted me to go, why you trying to keep me teeny?
Yes, and the Atlanta flavor didn't stop there. Superstar Missy Elliott, whose braided icy blonde bun and makeup for the show were done by Atlanta-based artists. She actually brought down the house with dance moves taught by Atlanta's mega choreographer, Sean Bankhead.
It's the movie that's making ATLians proud. What Men Want, all shot in Atlanta, starring Taraji P. Henson.
Give it up for our Summit Worldwide Sports Management's newest partner. Whoa! Allie, that pass was actually to Eddie.
I sat down with producers Adam Shankman and Atlanta's very own Will Packer and quickly learned that ATL wasn't exactly the studio's first choice.
Well, it wasn't set here originally.
Originally, it was not. I think it actually was set in Chicago originally.
Yeah.
One version of the script definitely was, but we actually shot Atlanta for Atlanta.
Yeah.
We portray the Hawks here.
I saw Georgia Tech in the film.
It seemed like the most obvious play. It's sort of like, it's you, it's the sports, it's all of that. And I'm sure it was something that you would always sort of hope, but I know you got to play the game and talk about where tax credits are.
It's always a conversation.
It tastes really weird. It tastes like dirt.
And you drank it? I thought black people stopped drinking tea after Get Out.
We all want to know how in the world you all got Erykah Badu, Shaq, Tracy Morgan, Lisa Leslie. We saw all these prominent people in this film, and it was a real treat for the audience.
I bumping the Rolodex. Adam did too. And my partner James Lopez. We all kind of put out calls. And when people heard we were making this movie
with her,
with Taraji, we had more people calling us to get in the movie than we could put in the movie.
So what do you want the ultimate takeaway to be from this movie? Because as a woman in the workplace and as a woman who's rising in the workplace, there's not enough of us. And there's a lot of you all. What do you want the ultimate takeaway to be?
You know what? I think that this is a movie about flawed people. It's not about like, men are bad, women are great, and women should be like this, and men should be like that. Everybody in it is flawed, but it is definitely a women's empowerment movie where the men are portrayed realistically.
Yes.
Everybody has balance, everybody has moment, all the characters are round, and it's fun.
I want them to really feel kind of her journey.
And we are diving deep into the world of celebrity. What would they be without us fans? Well, that's the question posed in John Travolta's newest movie, The Fanatic, which is out tomorrow. He actually swung by the A scene for our one-on-one, and you won't believe how he got into this role.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Dunbar. Is Hunter Dunbar here tonight?
That's enough.
I need to get an autograph. Don't let him do this to me. I'm a fan. I'm a #1 fan.
John Travolta! When you read the script, what was the one line in the script that you said, I have to take this role as Moose?
There were many lines. I just fell in love with this character right from the start because he's like a man-child. He's probably on the spectrum a little bit, but he's also so naively passionate about celebrity that you can't help but not buy into him.
Fred Durst directed this with you, came to you with the idea.
I didn't know Fred could write this well. I didn't know he could direct this well, and he blew my mind.
And give me a little taste of what it was like to film behind the scenes when you guys would stop filming.
He'd ask me questions about Moose. How you doing today, Moose? Did you run into anybody? What do you think of so-and-so? And what do you think? And he'd ask me, maybe 2 to 3 minutes of improvisation, and then suddenly I'd feel it, and bam, we'd start filming.
You can't just come to my private residence looking for me. Listen, pal, I don't know how you found me, but I don't ever want to see you in this neighborhood again.
I just wanted an autograph!
Was there a point in your life where a fan has gone over the line where you felt like, okay, you're way too close to my family?
Well, I only had 2 experiences. 35 years ago at Santa Barbara, there was a girl that, hid in my closet, and then about 8 years ago, a person came into my house, but other than that, they were not ill-intended.
What is the one character that you have never played that now you want to play?
I always feel that the characters that I will do the best are in somebody's imagination, and that has been 100% true.
Oh my goodness, what a riveting interview that we had. Imagine just coming home and someone in your closet. I could never. Now, Quiver Distribution is actually releasing The Fanatic in Atlanta this Friday, exclusively at AMC Sugarloaf and SMG Marietta. So be sure to support John Travolta, as Oprah says. They're good friends. And for more of the A Scene, folks, make sure you visit our website, 11alive.com/The A Scene. The full interview with myself and John Travolta has been posted right there. So make sure you get in so you can see the rest of the details. Over to you, Chesley.
You've got 3 minutes to prove how funny you are. But if you do it, holy cow, your life is about to change.
When you guys are like watching everybody on the stage, is there ever a time where you're like, this person's really funny? You know what? They're funnier than me. I'm going to take that joke.
No, you can't do that. You can't steal somebody's joke. Oh, that's bad, bad, bad. But I will sit there and go, oh, I wish I'd have thought of that premise. I wish I'd have thought of that.
Where you're giving young comedians, young and old, the opportunity to walk into their blessing, right?
It's fun for me, because for me, I see myself 30 years ago. in them. So it's almost fun for me to pass that baton and go, hey, here's what somebody told me to help me. I'm gonna hand you that baton, so after I'm gone, you running this race.
We look at you as like Mr. Funny Man, you know, make me laugh, but there's so much heart in you. Where did this come from to want to join in with this campaign?
Yeah, well, it is my hometown. And I grew up down by the airport, Hapeville and College Park. Being a little economically the underdog, I've always had a heart for the underdog. So about 10 or 11 years ago, got involved with the Atlanta Mission, because, I mean, people don't just end up on the street.
They have a right to lay their heads somewhere, right?
It's amazing to me, there's 4,000 women and children on the streets of Atlanta experiencing homelessness. Think about that, 4,000. And they're not all young. I mean, some of these women are 75 years old. They're somebody's grandmother. And each night in Atlanta, there's about 900 beds available, and Atlanta Mission is about a third of those. So what we're trying to do is to build a new shelter down at Ethel Street so we can add 100 beds, which will then take us to servicing about 40% of the women and children that are facing homelessness. We're all walking through this life together, and so when you become aware of something, when somebody next to you falls down, you either stop and help them up, or you pretend it didn't happen. And once I see it, I can't pretend it didn't happen.
That's right, a talented man in more ways than one. And today's the official kickoff day for the campaign. And guess what? If you donate, you'll be entered into the Building Hope and a Future's Dream Home sweepstakes, meaning one lucky grand prize winner will receive an amazing home in the Brock-built West Highlands neighborhood. And the home is actually valued at, get this, $400,000. So the more you give, the higher your chances of winning and the greater the impact you make. All details for the sweepstakes on 11alive.com right now. Chesley, over to you. We are kicking off with a sweet preview of the second annual Ultimate Sugar Show. Yep, we caught up with the founder and learned why she pulled in the owner of an iconic donut shop loved by celebrities nationwide.
Kit Kat, white chocolate.
If you've got a sweet tooth,
Fruity Pebbles, Nutella, red velvet, s'mores.
You may want to come a little closer to your screen.
Dulce de leche, Oreo.
I know you can only hear me read the flavors, but customers of Sublime Donuts get to taste them every single day.
Where do these ideas and flavors come from?
They just pop up in my head. I try to think if I see something and I like it, I'm like, you know what? We can make a donut out of it.
Founder Kamal Grant has been curing sweet tooths in Atlanta for over a decade. And his clientele is pretty sweet too.
Donald Glover, Mr. Childish Gambino, he came through and he bought a hat and he would wear the hat everywhere. Storm Reed came by, we did a special donut for her because she's been a fan.
And she's not the only fan. Founder of the Ultimate Sugar Show, Sydney Mitchell, has just asked the donutier to showcase his talents at the second annual Ultimate Sugar Show.
This year, a very fun theme.
Yes, it's Sounds of the South. And low-key, it's really Sounds of the A.
How excited are you for the Ultimate Sugar Show?
OMG, I don't think there's words to express how excited I am. We do have a headliner this year. It's a pretty big deal. Ron Ben Israel. He is one of the judges from Cake Wars, and he's also the host of a show called Sweet Genius.
She tells me at the show, Kamal, on the other hand, will be showing parents how to use leftover candies like these to make an even tastier ice cream sandwich treat.
You can put as much or as little as you like. You can use some chocolate or some, some of these toppings. Let's do a little donut cheers.
Okay.
Ding. Let's give it a go. Great.
I know, it was tart. It was very tart. It was sherbet ice cream, and I have a sensitive tooth. Anyway, the point is that you can find all the ticket information at theultimatesugarshow.com. They'll have appearances by Food Network and Cake Wars stars, and it all begins November 7th and goes through November 10th. Again, parents, let your kids go to this. It's only one time, right? A year. So for more of the A Scene, folks, make sure you visit our website, 11alive.com/theAscene. And hey, if you're at the Sugar Show next weekend and you see some celebrities, we urge you to use the hashtag #TheAScene. And I forgot to mention, I'm hosting it, so make sure you meet me there. Wes, over to you.